Hey guys, I'm Rich Pollution, and you're watching the Nerd Revolution. Welcome to Toku Tuesdays. So today we're going to be reviewing Kamen Rider X-Aid. And no, this is not that show called Masked Rider that was a terrible adaptation of Kamen Rider that Saban did with that crazy looking Furby character. So, a lot of Power Ranger fans in the US don't realize that there's a series called Kamen Rider in Japan. Or they realize that it's there, but they don't bother to watch it. If you haven't bothered to watch it, you're missing out. So I was one of those fans, and I just recently got into it and watched Kamen Rider X-Aid, and it blew me away. If you love video games and you love Tokusatsu or Power Rangers, this is going to marry both of these. So, at first glance, X-Aid looks like a terrible adaptation of video games into a TV show. You got crazy looking pudgy guys, such as this, and almost like Sonic / Mario characters. You know, they jump from block to block and they have a hammer and they hit people over the head. Oh, yeah! But if you can get past that, though, in the very beginning, this is a great show. So there's this team of doctors, and people are being infected with what is known as the Bugster virus. And what ends up happening is it infects them, and then this virus comes out into the real world, and that virus is actually from the video game world. In the beginning episodes, they always have to battle these giant, weird-looking monsters made up of yellow orbs, really crappy CGI. But they quickly get past this. Now, once they're past this, they end up actually fighting other players. So, the first half of the season is focused on just defeating these bugsters. You know, your typical guy shows up, they beat him up, then guy goes away. However, later on, there's what's known as Kamen Rider Chronicles, and that's really where the heart of the story starts. Kamen Rider Chronicles is a video game that Genko is developing, and when they develop this game, the idea is to get everybody to play it, and when the people play it, they end up actually physically going out, turning into their own version of a Kamen Rider, and fighting these bugsters. And a lot of them fail. And when a lot of them fail, a lot of them die. Or so we think. So, they have your typical Kamen Rider versus Kamen Rider battles in this series. So, it's really a great show. And if you haven't watched it, I highly suggest that you go and watch it. There's a vast majority of characters in this. So, there's the main character, M, or Gamer M, who was a video gamer, and he ended up winning some video game competition. He's considered the world's best gamer. He's the main character who becomes Kamen Rider X-Aid. Then there's Hero, who's a surgeon that the intern reports to, and he becomes Kamen Rider Brave, which the theme for Brave is pretty cool because it's a knight and he's a surgeon, so he says he can cut anything and it works out well. Then there's Taiga, who is Bang Bang Shooting Game, and that's a gun-themed Kamen Rider. And then in addition to him, there's Kuja, who is Baksu Bike, if I said that right. You see how I ended up going into the show? Baksu Bike! I've been watching this a little too much. So, M used to be a big gamer, and he ends up winning a video game championship. And he's considered the world's best gamer. And they end up giving him the X-Aid suit, basically, because he's such a good gamer. And he's kind of, the typical leader. I gotta save everybody. This this has to be done the correct way, and I have to save them. Then you have Brave, and Brave is your kind of hard ass guy who's, well, I don't care how it's done. It's better to save, 10,000 people than just the one patient. And they butt heads a lot due to that. And Brave actually doesn't view X-Aid or M as being a real doctor because he's an intern, and they just clash a lot. And then there's the Cujo, who is Baksu Bike, and he's almost like your comic relief in this series. Pretty cool character. His level 1 kind of sucks because it turns into a bike, literally. But his level 2, which I'll explain the levels in a moment, is pretty cool actually. And then you got the Bang Bang Shooting Game, or Taiga, and he is your mysterious hard ass character. So that's just a general overview of the characters that are the Kamen Riders. In addition to this, there's Poppy, who is a lady who jumps between the real world and the video game world, and she kind of serves as, I almost want to say like a mentor, but more of a guidance than a mentor, because she knows what's going on in the video game world as well. Then you get the evil Gemco characters, and I'm not going to get into them. There's a lot of, your typical monsters. But one key thing is they have a dark X-Aid on the Gemco side. And he's pretty sweet. I'm not going to say too much more, because if I do, I'll spoil a lot of the story if you decide to go watch this. So, but yeah, I highly, highly suggest this series. The opening, they have these weird pudgy looking characters that are like Sonic / Mario, your typical video game looking characters, and and in this world, people are being infected by what's known as the Bugster virus. And when that infects them, they end up really sick, and the Bugster virus ends up coming out of them into the real world, and it's made up of these giant orbs in the beginning, and they make up the monster as seen here. These really are subpar in my opinion, and I did not really like the initial Kamen Rider characters. I like the Henshin. Which was pretty cool in my opinion. I thought it was a cool touch. But yeah, it just, there's something lacking. I think it's just a little too childish for me, maybe, at that point. Which is funny considering I watch Power Rangers. But again, it's not as childish as Furby from Mask Rider and Saban's adaptation. But yeah, so they end up turning into level 1, and they go and they fight this guy, these monsters that are made up of the orbs. And then after that, after they fight the guys made up of orbs, they go into what's known as level 2. Now this is your typical Kamen Rider looking characters. And that's when the true action comes in. So the orbs turn into a monster now, or yeah, I mean I would just call them a monster. Bugster virus, right? It turns into the level 2 Bugster virus basically. And they fight that in their level 2 as well, which is more humanoid. And that's very, very cool when that happens. What's great is I think they realized what they were doing halfway through the series, because eventually they just completely get rid of them really having to do level 1. So yeah, I mean, guys, overall this is a great, great series. I highly suggest you watch it. It sucked me into Kamen Rider really well. This is the first Kamen Rider series I've actually sat down and watched, probably since Mask Rider. And I didn't even watch Mask Rider all the way through. And when I say Mask Rider, I mean the US adaptation of Mask Rider, which was really, really poor. And I don't remember too much from it. I just remember that it was poor. And I'm 27, so gives you an idea. Yeah, you're missing out if you're not seeing this. I'm actually trying to get my wife to watch it now, and hopefully she will. So, characters are great. With the exception of a few things here or there, like Poppy kind of gets on my nerves. She's like always overly energetic and talking like this. Maybe that's why my daughter loved it, because I watched it with her while I was watching her. So, but yeah, and they jump between the video game world and the real world seamlessly, and it's unreal. The drama is over the top in this. They don't hesitate. They let people die off, in a way. So they let people die off. It's a really good, solid Kamen Rider show. Especially if you haven't seen any Kamen Riders, I highly suggest you watch this show. So on that note, I'm Rich Pollution, and remember, be excellent to each other. If you guys have any other Kamen Riders that you suggest I watch, please leave a comment below. I'm currently starting W, which seems pretty good. It's, I wouldn't say super old, but it's old, so the CGI is getting to me a little bit, but hopefully I'll get over that. There's this button down below. It's called the like button and the subscribe button. If interested, it might be worth hitting. So yeah, give that a shot. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button to get more tokusatsu.